Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. Hey, we got a lot to get into when it comes to the stuff that's been surfacing from the Ripple versus SEC case. So we're going to quickly get into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $2.06 trillion market cap, currently down 1%. Looking at the top 10, Bitcoin sitting at 43,681, Ethereum sitting at 3,102, Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 415, XRP sitting at 82 cents, Cardano sitting at $1.16, Solana sitting at 106, DOT sitting at $20, and Avalanche is sitting at $90. Coming over here at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, see, we're out of that fear and extreme fear range still. We're still in that neutral, so we're dead smack in the middle with the 50. So there's still some uncertainty, but there's still some positivity and optimism within the space. So I'm going to start with this tweet here from Crypto Law US. It says, allies are joining the fight to investigate the SEC, an amazing piece by the founder of Empower Oversight. So he's referencing Jason Foster's tweet here. So we talked a lot about the Freedom of Information Act stuff that's been going on with Jason Foster and Empower Oversight applying pressure to the SEC, and then you have Johnny Deaton in the class action lawsuit and their FOIA applying pressure to the SEC, just trying to get the truth out there, trying to get the facts out there. So coming over here, Jason says, all about our efforts to pry documents out of the SEC and why it matters. So I highly recommend you go through it and read this article. I'm just going to kind of cover the top two paragraphs here. So it says, shining a light on a would-be cryptocurrency regulators. Challenging the SEC to comply with its own disclosure obligations is a challenge. Healthy financial markets need clarity and transparency to function properly. Financial regulators are supposed to write clear rules so the markets can operate on a level playing field. Instead, they sometimes make arbitrary enforcement decisions that look unfair and undermine public confidence in their integrity. Among the safeguards against the kind of government overreach that distorts markets and hinders innovation, the Freedom of Information Act, or the FOIA, is a vital tool for Americans to enforce transparency and accountability on the government. But it takes a lot of persistence to make FOIAs work the way it should. So that's just a precursor to kind of what this article has to offer. So go through and read that. But this is what we've been talking about in all our videos when it comes to the SEC and them trying to redact stuff and trying to suppress certain information and documents from servicing for the public, and then to surface for Ripple to utilize on their side to kind of prove their case. So continuing on here, Johnny Deaton had a great thread that we're going to cover. We're going to go through this entire thread. So he says, so this is all based off of him kind of responding to what he tweeted on the 5th, where he says, XRP itself is a security per se, question mark. Although designated amicus counsel, I have not yet been privy to the non-publicly disclosed or sealed documents that have been exchanged between the parties or filed with the court. So he's coming up here and he says, shouldn't the truth matter? That's the question being asked by 65,000 XRP holders who have joined together in not to allow the SEC or Ripple to speak for them. An amicus curiae would intend to speak for ourselves. 65,000 XRP holders from 60 different countries across the globe in the United States have come together despite the claims being made regarding the digital asset XRP. I've literally been in contact with thousands of XRP holders who refute the allegations made by the SEC. Here are the facts and the truth being ignored by the SEC and the lawyers involved in the case. 1. The majority of first-time XRP purchasers were actually unaware of a company called Ripple in its use of XRP. 2. Most first-time purchasers of XRP were aware of Ripple name because the name Ripple was used interchangeably with XRP for many years. But that doesn't make a person aware of the actual company called Ripple and its use and or promotion of XRP. 3. Considering the majority of the first-time purchasers were unaware of the company Ripple, it is impossible to rely on the promises or inducements of Ripple. 4. It is impossible to enter into a common enterprise with a company or promoter that you do not know exists. You think? 5. Tens of thousands of 65,000 XRP holders granted amicus were aware of the company Ripple and how it sold software to banks offering a product, the ODL, on-demand liquidity, utilized for cross-border payments. 6. 10,000s of 65,000 XRP granted amicus and aware of the company Ripple were also aware that many other companies and developers were also building products incorporating XRP in the XRP ledger. 7. Regardless of whether there's knowledge regarding the company Ripple, 65,000 XRP holders granted amicus affirm that when they acquired XRP, they did not rely on any statements, promises, or inducements from the company Ripple, its executives, or affiliates. 8. Regardless of whether there's knowledge regarding the company Ripple, that 65,000 XRP holders granted amicus affirmed that when they acquired XRP, they did not believe they were acquiring a legal or financial interest in the company Ripple. 9. 65,000 XRP granted amicus affirmed when they acquired XRP, they were not relying on the efforts of the company Ripple or its management team for any purpose. The 65,000 XRP granted amicus affirmed that acquired XRP because of its superior technology related to other digital assets. It says, i.e. superior transaction speed, minimal cost, and how lower energy consumption. Affirmed they acquired XRP because it was a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap and listed at a much lower entry price compared to the other large market cap tokens. And he says, acquired XRP for non-investment reasons such as use of form of currency for payment for goods or services and as a substitute for fiat currency, utilized as a store of value or to purchase everyday items like, and he's talking about gas and other products. So 13, acquired XRP as a substitute for fiat and utilized XRP debit cards via Uphold Inc. and the Global ID or others. 14, are users of the XRPL and acquired XRP in order to utilize XRPL because of its transaction speed, low cost, and minimal energy consumption. 15, acquired XRP for its utility, not for investment, but to transfer other digital assets or currencies or send value utilizing XRPL because tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum are too slow and expensive to use as a bridge to transfer assets. Absolutely. I mean, that's what I use a lot of it for as well. 16, also required XRP in order to utilize a decentralized exchange, the DEX built within the XRPL, thus allowing the trading of other assets and tokens built or traded on the DEX. So he's referencing this stuff right here. 17, it says, are developers of a product or application with an intention of utilizing digital asset XRP and XRPL. 18. Amicus, the granted amicus used their XRP as collateral for, let me redo that one. So XRP holders granted amicus used their XRP as collateral for financing, or they stake their XRP on trading platforms such as Nexo, Celsius Network, BitTrue, earning a financial benefit and profit from the token itself, independent of Ripple. 19. Disclaim entering into a common enterprise with Ripple or other XRP holders around the world. 20. Accept XRP as a form of payment such as Time Magazine, car dealerships, charities, YouTubers, and other content providers, none of which consider XRP an investment. When the SEC sued Ripple, it did not limit the allegations to only include the way Ripple offers and sells XRP. It actually claims all XRP are unregistered securities, even the XRP traded in the secondary market. The XRP traded even in the secondary market is the embodiment of those facts, circumstances, promises, and expectations, and today represents the investment contract. So he puts up this image here, says it right here, kind of pulled it out of there. And pretty much he says thus, the SEC must prove Ripple made promises or inducements that led XRP holders to form a reasonable expectation of profits based on the efforts of Ripple, its executives and or affiliates. If the truth matters, the SEC will fail miserably attempting to meet that standard. Truth. We have the truth on our side. Hashtag truth. Johnny Dean, man, well done, man. We really appreciate you putting all this effort into this tweet thread to bring out, the voices of us XRP holders that are part of the class action lawsuit, because we all utilize XRP for what we find it valuable for. Like how you said, transferring value to one another, sending it to one exchange, accepting it as payment and so on. Coming over here, Jack the Rippler says, boom. The Digital Euro Association, or DEA, is delighted to announce its partnership with Ripple as a supporting member to jointly work on central bank digital currencies. So that's huge. So coming over here, Rafa Kahneman says, while Jay Clayton asked Brad Garlinghouse of to back up from the issue of XRP undecided security status. This is from its own notes. So look, take a look right here. It says, incidentally, that memorandum recounts a conversation between Chair Clayton and Mr. Garlinghouse, similar to the conversation Mr. Garlinghouse recalls having with Commissioner Roisman, in which he discussed the fact that Ripple was in purgatory due to uncertainty as to whether XRP, the cryptocurrency with which Ripple is associated, is or is not a security. And Chair Clayton asked him to back up from that issue and encourage the Ripple executive to continue its ongoing discussions with the staff of the Division of Corporation Finance. So then Rafa Kahneman also says, amazing. Then SEC Commissioner Roisman told Brad Garlinghouse that XRP was not a security. According to Brad's deposition, he was not the chair, but was a sitting commissioner. Also deeply troubling. So clearly there's just there's so much like, back and forth, speaking out of one side of your mouth. These government bodies aren't being on the same page with one another. Clearly, there's no certain, regulation or clarity within just their meetings in general. So it's like, how can you act as if you knew, or you can expect, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple and the XRP investors to know that, XRP is a security, when you don't even know. You can't even answer the question whether Ethereum alone is a security or not. So this is the crazy stuff we're dealing with. I wanted to come over here. Tag XRP says, Chairman Clayton was more interested in Ripple's business and tech than if XRP was a security or not. I wonder why he was so interested in their business and tech. So he's referencing this memorandum here. If you can kind of read through this if you want. So I can kind of get my spin on it. Let me finish. He continues on here. He says, obviously sounds like it didn't matter if XRP was a security or not. It was always going to be a security any way Clayton could spin it. What an absolute nut job. Brad Garlinghouse and Joel Katz could see this can see right through this BS. Just look at Brad when he's around people lying like Novogratz, Lubin, and Juan. They could smell this all coming from miles away. So quite honestly, I mean, if this all Ethereum free pass stuff was truly to set like a monopoly when it comes to, Bitcoin and Ethereum's status within the crypto market, if Chair Clayton, if he's almost in a sense more focused on the tech of XRP, just like I'm sure, other project where, we've been hearing about, Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum founder or co-founder, was around, when Ripple or XRP, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. We've all heard about that. But the point is, like, if Clayton is more focused on the tech and not its security status, what does that tell you? Quite honestly, clearly they tried to slam the door on everything else and truly create a monopoly. That's just the way I see it. That's my opinion. Allegedly, that's my opinion. Coming out here, I thought this was quite interesting. This is from Pompous Max. He says, Tinder swindler got me thinking about Jay and Willie, and I'm realizing ETH actually got a really crappy deal. Putting aside the Hammond speech, they didn't secure a future for ETH. They just took bribes, dropped an opinion, but never put on paper an irrefutable argument for ETH. And then Tag says, correct. And actually, thinking about that, especially putting my feelings to the side, that's the truth. But then again, it's like, okay, was Ethereum and all parties, involved in this as well? We've seen the tweet from Vitalik Buterin coming out talking about XRP being a poop token. So it's like, okay, was that just like, a funny jab to the community, or were these players really involved into all this Ethereum free pass stuff, trying to create this monopoly? But, just to put my feelings aside, I think so too. But we'll see, stuff is service, and we'll see, who the bad actors are in this whole scandal, for the stuff that surfaces and that isn't suppressed forever. I wanted to end on this. Digital Asset Investor had put up this. It says, Flashback Friday for all you feeble Americans out there. So let's take a listen into this.
I still don't understand how Ethereum was able to build out its technology with an ICO, which is definitely a security, thus that demands SEC regulation and the costs associated with it, and Ripple doesn't.
The Kremlin arranged for Vitalik to meet one of Putin's powerful surrogates, Tatarstan President Rustam Minakhanov.
The policy certainty in the U.S. exists for Bitcoin and Ethereum, despite the fact those are China-controlled platforms.
The U.S. government gave regulatory clarity to Bitcoin and Ether. And this was 2 years ago now, more than 2 years ago. The director of corporate finance, Bill Hinman, gave a speech providing clarity that the SEC did not view Bitcoin and Ether as securities.
The U.S. government still does not know what it's doing when it comes to crypto.
Also a tradition of stability. So it's not like some tiny tax haven that's going to turn against us the moment that the U.S. government wants them to.
But we need to have a level playing field so the market can pick which ones they want to use and not be, as today they are, hindered by regulatory uncertainty.
I think you got to have a level playing field.
Today, because of the mining control of Bitcoin and Ether in China, these are technologies controlled by China.
And 80% of mining capacity is based in China for both Bitcoin and Ether.
Which is the idea. Essentially, let's make sure we get these models right so we don't end up in the same place 15 years from now and then instead of, Mark Zuckerberg, it's whatever, Vitalik in front of Congress or something.
Gary Gensler's rear end is going to be on Capitol Hill so much, he's going to develop saddle sores and from the hearings, from the seat at the hearings. There is no doubt in my mind.
Это русский бильярд сложнее.
Понял. Больше шары, меньше лузы.
И стол больше.
Слабенькие американцы.
I mean, it's just getting spicy. So we as XRP investors, especially those that's been around for years now, we've been through the ringer, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the good and bad. We've been through so much, and it's so refreshing to finally see, all this stuff start surfacing, to kind of just shed some more positivity and almost enjoyment now that we're seeing, all the shenanigans being surfaced with them with their own words on video, just contradicting themselves. I'm talking about from, Chair Gensler and government officials to Vitalik Buterin and certain players that were involved in the Ethereum Free Pass, Joe Lubin, and it's amazing to see. And I'm so glad we have the community we have that's come together to really bring the fight to the SEC. I mean, it's only going to get quite interesting. And Jeremy Hogan said it best, where he's saying the next couple of months should be quite interesting, especially with Judge Torres being in it now. So, hey, this is kind of what's going on. We had a lot to cover. I know it's a longer video. But with all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.